of space in there.
Mm-hmm.
That should be good. Okay. Drops into a void. Very small.
Glue pretty much squished out everywhere. That's the way. Oh yeah, blowing out behind it. I guess you got enough glue in there now, huh? Full. Okay. Let's see if we can see it.
This is it. This is the back rail of the 33B, and I'm just cleaning it up, the initial cleaning, so that I can examine its condition and see whether I have to take it off or what. But this is a phenomenon you see in older instruments. As the hammers wear, the felt drifts down and it gets under the back ends of the keys, and as the key keeps coming down, it beats this little dust bunny into a kind of, I don't know, it's attached, but anyway, there's a direction to the felt. There's a special piece of felt. It's got a nice shaggy surface, but it has a direction. It goes that way. So you work like this. It's got a nice stiff bristled bottle brush. Anything with nice stiff bristles will work. But see, you get back to a really quite a nice surface. But this is the first step before, you know, even if I was going to take this off and clean it, I'd want to do this first so that this isn't in the water with it. So, and that's how you get the felt off of one of these. The original ribs with the original bridge with no soundboard. It's an odd thing to see. All these beams have been glued. Little hole there, drilled in, and injected glue. So these should all be very solid now. Completely flat ribs. Looks like this whole cutoff bar is going to be moving with the soundboard. Maybe. Here's this piece. It's a Chickering thing to end the bridge like that on the rim. Seems like a lot of these ribs, they end not all the way to the end of the slots, like they wanted it halfway. Seems like maybe to help the board flex. That one's pretty bad. Pretty extreme. But that's how it was. I think now we're going to repair these ribs and glue these cracks and flakes down that was caused by a previous restorer. That's no trouble.
sound different. They ring a little bit. They weren't like that before. This whole structure now, from injecting glue into all these joints, and it did go in. It was squishing out everywhere, so now it sounds different. It rings.
Here's the last rib that has some damage, gluing these loose spots. Working the glue in. What's this? The fourth one. There was 4 that needed gluing. One of them had quite a big split in it. This one, that one. That should be all good tomorrow, nice and solid, ready to go back on after some sanding. And we let that sit.
Okay, soundboard. The wood is prepared for re-gluing. We're laying them in the case right now just to get a perspective on what we have to do. We have that piece there, and already we can see how much it's shrunk by the space we have there. See that? Push everything together and it's shrunk about that much. It's going to shrink some more. Well, here's basically our materials that we need, and it is in good condition.
The first step is to glue this one together. This main giant panel.
Main body. That's beautiful.
These will go back.
Oh yes, always splits. After all, glue is what holds the whole piano together, and it will hold this together just fine. These are nice. Good clean breaks. See, when somebody puts shims in there, it really makes a mess of this. So there are no shims in this piano, and we're lucky. Alright, so we'll get to it. What number is this? 31?
31.
31. Chickering. Recrown number 31. Glue joint number 1000. Flex it a little.
Here's that base bridge. It came off perfectly, no damage. This is in good shape. I'm going to pull all these pins out now, remove all the finish, and then we can reinforce these holes. Also, gluing this little piece on, and I'm going to glue this together. This was on top of the plate. No, on top of the soundboard. Under the plate. So that'll be easy. We'll come back once I've made some progress and set up to glue these.
Here's this little piece we knocked out with a hammer before here, at the end of the treble bridge. Soundboard cap. And the little pieces are important. There's two little pieces that stayed behind when it was removed, and we retrieved it, and now we're attaching it to the main piece. And there it is. Treble end cap. We don't have to make it. It's already made. Here's a part of the piano going back together. This goes under the plate in the rear of the piano, back of the bridges. Piece of pine there. Used a lot of pine here. Must be, looks like sugar pine. Same stuff they make the keys out of. Boy, they had some good stuff back then. You can tell by the grains and sometimes the saw marks how big these trees were. Anyways, there we have it. Perfect. Back together. And we can be assured of its fitting well. Except for slight differences in the little shrinkage dimensions, but not so much. Well, this means we're starting to put it back together, and this is how to begin. Put the little pieces back together and make bigger ones, and then we attach them to the even bigger ones. That one there goes over here. Let's see, back there, right there against the wall. That right there. Okay. A Chickering base bridge. Yes. Look how these pins are just pulling out. Being real careful not to screw up the holes here. We pull them out in the right direction. And see that? It lifts right out.
Very loose.
Very, very loose. What we're going to do now is we're going to scrape the dirt off of this. And we're going to super glue them holes and them cracks.
They were blue also. Slightly blue.
all uneven, like you said.
Uneven. They might have been heat glued.
Heat
from
glued.
just heat.
Yep.
Different shades of color.
Yep, that's what happens.
Okay, here's our first joint that was glued. Protective plastic underneath.
Was that a seam? I don't think
That was
so.
a split.
That was a crack. That was a tensile stress fracture. Pretty solid now. It'll take a while for it to.
It's good.
Still soft, but it looks really good. And see over here. See how it's glued together here and just naturally open here. Well, we can't close these up, so we're going to have to put a little shim in here later, after we get the ribs on. Isn't that something how that glue comes out shiny like that? Looks like a finish. Yeah, French polish like glue.
Now we can go after this one.
We're going to go after that one over there. See, it goes all the way to the end. I mean, I think we can do that right now. Get ready for it. Have to jig it up here. And after we get this main piece back together, we can begin to size up the rest of the board and how it's going to mate up to it. So there, we have it. Alright, the aftermath of our glue job here. Joining these back together. These were held apart by shrinkage and nothing else. See, they fractured, but it just pushes right back together, these splits. This split went from there, of course, all the way to the end, and it's been cracked a very long time because you can tell how soiled, discolored the wood is, where the air was going through back and forth dirt. Anyways, it's all one piece again. Made an adjustment for shrinkage, pushing this back together because the whole thing is a little bit smaller. We're going to have to expand it a little bit later on. Hot glue on a hot table helps a lot. In a draft-free room. Anyway, the whole table is heated up with hot water, and it's a great aid. Have to hold it flush together, level with each other. It's difficult sometimes. There we go. See, this extended time is because the wood is hot and the table is hot. Everything's hot. Even we are hot. So, here we go. Put that together there. Watch the glue squish out. That's wonderful. Perfect. Now we just wipe the excess off. There we go. Doesn't require much pressure to push this together, now it does it. Fits perfect. All the stress from shrinkage, not from compression ridges. That's a myth. These cracks in here are not caused by compression ridges. Squished crushed cells. There are no crushed cells in this soundboard. Huh. I'll say that over and over again, but well, that's it. They don't believe it. Here we are. Well, yes, clamping it together, piece by piece, making it hold. Oh, and here we are down here doing another one. Some of these cracks, or these separations rather, not easy to put together. Now make sure you get the glue in there. Go. There we have it. You're noticing over here, the edge of this board here is very dirty all the way down. It must have been cracked for 100 years. Precious material.